I moved to Montana about 18 years ago, and not long after I did, I heard about an annual migration of snow geese that occurs out on the plains just east of the mountains. I finally decided this year I would take my camera up there and see what it was all about, and I'm glad I did. My name is Bill McDavid, and I'm a partner with Hall & Hall in the Missoula office in western Montana. So for me to get to Freezeout Lake, where this all happens, I drive up the Blackfoot Valley, past a couple of our listings that we currently have, Alice Creek Ranch and Camas Creek Ranch, along the Blackfoot River, through a very heavily timbered area, up and over Rogers Pass, and then down out onto the plains. And it's always a very dramatic drive to take, because you go up and over that pass, and then as soon as you drop down, everything changes just in a second. You're in steep, heavily timbered mountains, and the next minute you are out on the rolling plains, and looking back over your shoulder, you look at this big wall of mountains that just rises up out of it all. So these geese that have flown here to Freezeout have flown a non-stop flight of 600 miles. Takes them about 18 hours to do that. They're coming from the Central Valley of California, so I learned. And each one of these geese spends about 4 days here before they travel north to the Arctic, to their breeding grounds. While they're at Freezeout Lake, they basically feast and rest. They feed twice a day on the grain fields, once in the morning and once in the evening. And the rest of the time they spend lounging around on the lake. And I found them in the grain fields in the morning, gorging themselves on barley left over from last year's harvest. I watched probably 40 to 50,000 of them roving through this barley field, and they stayed there till about noon, at which point they all made this instantaneous and simultaneous decision to fly to the lake. When they blasted up out of that field, that sound is just indescribable. I saw all kinds of species, not just snow geese. There was also tundra swans. They're the pure white ones. The snow geese have the black tips on their wings. I saw all kinds of ducks, including a golden eye, Canada geese. I also was pleased to see my first bluebird of the year. It's always a noticeable thing when I see in the spring that bright blue bird show back up, and I know that spring has finally sprung. I plan on doing this trip every year if I can help it from here on, because it was a spectacular sight that I'll never forget.